Hi, hope you had a great day. You're watching Jerry Entertainment, and for this video, I'm talking about the Book of Boba Fett, and I'm giving you my predictions and theories for Chapter 6 and the rest of the show, but more specifically of Chapter 6, by telling you which cameos I think are very likely to show up in the show. Like, trust me, I'm gonna give you some really good arguments to why these cameos are definitely very likely to show up, and why maybe they won't be very likely to show up, but more specifically why they will be very likely to show up. And I definitely think it's gonna increase your hype for the Book of Boba Fett by a lot. I definitely think you're gonna be very hyped up to see the Book of Boba Fett after you watch this video, especially after you watch it all, because trust me, there's a bunch of characters in here, and there's some very surprise characters that nobody's talking about, especially the last one, and nobody's talking about this character, and I do definitely think that they have a very high chance to show up. So yeah, I really hope you enjoyed this video, and if you do end up enjoying this video, then just make sure to leave a like. It would be very helpful. I still subscribe for a lot of other content. I'm covering Book of Boba Fett to its full thing, so if you want Book of Boba Fett coverage and anything else, and this Peacemaker or whatever, just subscribe for all that content. I think you're going to enjoy that. And lastly, make sure to comment down below with your thoughts on the previous chapter of Book of Boba Fett, which was chapter 5 with the Mandalorian. I'm definitely curious to hear your thoughts on that. I love that episode, but I'm curious to hear your thoughts on that in the comments. And also tell me your own theories on which cameos you think will show up in the Book of Boba Fett. I'm definitely curious, so let me know that down in the comments. Okay, now let's get started. Alright, so let's start where episode 5 or chapter 5 ended for the Book of Boba Fett, and that was with the Mandalorian saying that before he joins Boba Fett, he has to visit a little guy, being obviously Grogu. And so that means that the Mandalorian will probably visit Grogu. Now, there's two ways that this could play out. They could completely skip it in the Book of Boba Fett and just like say that he went there, but then say that he came back, or they could actually show him going there. And because judging by chapter 5, where instead of just getting a small cameo for the Mandalorian, we got a whole episode of him, I could definitely see the Mandalorian, that the show showing the Mandalorian going to go visit Grogu. I think there's definitely a very strong chance of that. So I'm going to assume that that's what's going to happen. I think that they will show him visiting Grogu, and that opens the world of possibilities for so much cameos. So let's start going through the list of cameos that could open the possibility to. Number one, it could obviously open the possibility to Luke being in the show. Obviously, Luke is training Grogu, and obviously, if he was going to go visit Grogu, he would probably encounter Luke. So I definitely think that Luke is a very strong chance to cameo here, especially since I think that Mark Hamill would love to do a cameo in the Book of Boba Fett. I mean, Boba Fett was like such a huge and popular character back in the original Star Wars films, even though he was like very small actually in the movies. It was a super popular character. So obviously, I think it would be pretty cool for Mark Hamill to be like, oh yeah, I want to do a cameo here. I think he would love it, and I think that many people would love it. I know the company would love it because they're like, oh, we're gonna get so much views and everything. So I definitely think that Luke could be there. I don't know if it would happen because this would be nowhere near the finale of the show, and then maybe with that excitement level, they set up like the expectations too high for the finale. I don't know if they would do that, but I do think that there's a strong chance that Luke could show up. I wouldn't say expect him, but I would say maybe there's like a 50% chance, maybe not. I think that's where I would go. There's also another theory that it could be Han Solo. Obviously, Han Solo has a lot of history with Boba Fett, so it would be really cool to at least have a cameo in his show. I think that would be awesome. And it could be Han Solo taking care of Grogu, and it could also be Han Solo and Luke both taking care of Grogu, as Han Solo maybe visits Luke, because obviously one of the main problems with the sequel trilogy, and like a huge problem with sequel trilogy, was that fans said that, you know, the original King never came back together and talked. So if we have a scene with Han Solo and Luke after the original movies, I think people are going to be super happy about that. So that's a strong chance. I don't know if it's necessarily going to happen, especially since Harrison Ford is really done with Star Wars, I think, but it's definitely a chance, nonetheless. Also, and probably the one that I probably believe could happen the most, maybe, possibly, is Kylo Ren. And I'm not talking about adult Kylo Ren, because that wouldn't make sense, but I'm talking about a younger Kylo Ren. So that probably means that they're going to have a younger actor, so they would have to pay Adam Driver, which means that there would be more in budget for the show. And, you know, they could maybe make like a little kid Kylo Ren, or like a teenager Kylo Ren, where he's like talking to Grogu or something. I think that would be very awesome. I think that sets up what happens in the future with Kylo Ren and Luke. I think it makes a lot of sense. Obviously, we know the continuity and everything, so I think it could happen. I think that would be an amazing cameo. I think fans would freak out, even if it's not Adam Driver, which is why I think it has the highest chance, because you don't actually need like the huge actor to be there. It can be a smaller actor because he would be younger. So that cameo could definitely happen, and I think, like I said, it would make fans very excited. So those are the three huge cameos that could definitely happen in the next episode, and I think, or at least I do strongly believe, that one of these cameos will at least happen in the next episode, and it gets me so hyped up. Okay, I'm moving on to the next thing, and this is going to drive away from Mandalorian, because I don't think anything huge apart from that is going to happen for the Mandalorian. I think the rest is going to be saved up for the show, which is why I'm going to go back to Boba Fett, where we found out in chapter 4 that he's recruiting a team, and we've started to see him assembling it. Obviously, he has like the speeder bike gang. He was trying to recruit that Iwo Chewbacca. I forgot his name. I'm sorry, but that Iwo Chewbacca. And he has like the little two guards that are really loyal to him, like they're really loyal. He has Fennec, and then he was trying to recruit the Mandalorian, which he did and which Fennec did in episode 5. So clearly he's starting to build his own gang. But obviously that's not going to be it. I do think there's going to be a lot more, and I think it's a really cool idea if he assembles a bounty team, which as many people have already said it, a team of just full bounty hunters. I think that would be an amazing idea, and I do think that that's what the show's going on. I think it would just make fans freak out. So who could be part of this team? Well, I'm going to start with somebody that I know is pretty expected, and that's going to be Cad Bane. And I do think that Cad Bane could definitely show up in the show for multiple reasons. First of all, he was recently in The Bad Batch, which means that the producer, Dave Filoni, is thinking about him, and he is very heavily into the Book of Boba Fett. I think he's an executive producer, or he's one of the main producers in the show, so he's definitely very much into it. So the fact that they did use him in The Bad Batch very recently makes me think that maybe they could use Cad Bane in the Book of Boba Fett. Obviously, in The Bad Batch, Fennec did meet Cad Bane, so there would be a setup there where they have history. Also, Boba Fett and Cad Bane themselves have history, with even the deleted storyline saying that Cad Bane was the one that gave him the little bullet hole in his helmet. So it's like definitely history there. So I do think that Cad Bane definitely has a chance to be in the show, whether it's on Boba Fett's team, which is what I think could happen, but he could also be in the opposite team. I'm not saying that he can't, but I do think that he's definitely going to show up for another reason as well, because Dave Filoni is going to be directing the next episode, Chapter 6 of Book of Boba Fett, and usually every time that Dave Filoni directs, there's like a cameo. There's like a pretty nice cameo in there. So I do think that Cad Bane will show up. I definitely do think so, and I think it's going to be awesome if he does show up, because we started assembling this bounty hunters team, and it just gets me super excited. So definitely expect that. I think you can expect that for sure. Another member that I can definitely expect, and this is one that got set up in this show, and honestly I can't tell if it's a chance or not. That is going to be the fighter from the Tusken Raiders, the one that has like the stick that was teaching both how to fight with the stick. She survived, I think. I mean, I did not see her body whenever all the Tusken Raiders were dead. I did not see her body at all, and you know what that means. Whenever you don't see the body, then that means they're alive. That's just how how every show works. So I do think that she's definitely alive somewhere out there, and I do think that she has a very high chance of coming back, because she was set up so well and the fans loved her, and I think that she would be awesome for the show. I think it would also make for a really nice relationship between Boba Fett and her and the Tusken Raider. It's like, oh yeah, you made me where I'm at now. I think there's definitely a very high chance for that. So I definitely do think that that girl Tusken Raider, that fighter Tusken Raider, I'm not entirely sure what her name is, would be there. I do think that would be awesome, and I think that would, like I said, it was already set up in the show a lot. Their whole relationship was already set up in the show, so it could honestly very much happen, and that would honestly make me so excited. So yeah, hopefully it does happen. And then lastly, the other character that I do think that could show up, and this is a character that is very least expected, and I haven't heard anybody say this yet, so I know that somebody out there has probably said it, but I haven't heard anybody say it, and that is the Marshal from Mandalorian Season 2, Episode 1, which is the guy that was using the Boba Fett armor. Remember that guy? And then he traded it for Mando as long as they coated the worm. Yeah, remember that guy? He was super nice. I think he has a chance to be in this show. Obviously, there is already some sort of interconnection between Boba Fett and him, because he had the Boba Fett armor for a while, and Boba Fett did see that, because you saw him tracking down his armor. So Boba Fett did see that, so there was already that. He was using the armor. Also, Mandalorian knows him, and he lives in Tatooine, which is the biggest thing. He lives right there in Tatooine. So I definitely think that he has a very high chance of joining the show, and I do think that fans will be very hard to see him, because most people really liked him, and I personally really liked him, and I really want him to come back. So I do think that he has a chance. I'm not saying that he has a super high chance. I'm not saying that he will be in the show, but I do think that there's enough setup for him, and there's enough closeness. He lives in Tatooine. He has interconnection with Boba Fett. He knows Mandalorian. I do think that there's enough closeness or interconnection between everything, to the point where I do think that there is a chance that he could show up. So yeah, these are the characters that I think are going to show up in the Book of Boba Fett, Chapter 6, and past that. So yeah, did this get you hyped up? I'm definitely very curious. I mean, I know it definitely has me very hyped up, but I want to hear your own thoughts on the comments. So tell me down in the comments, which of these characters do you want to see the most in the show? Which one do you think that will actually happen? Which ones do you think won't happen? I'm definitely curious, so tell me that down in the comments. As well as if you enjoyed this video, then please leave a like. It would be very, very helpful. As well as subscribe for a lot of other content on the Book of Boba Fett, and just a bunch of other stuff's going on. Peacemakers, Rand Lois, all type of stuff. You can subscribe for all that content that I'm sure you're going to enjoy. And yeah, that's it for this video. Thanks for watching. Hope you have a great rest of your day. And this is James Entertainment, out.